Rar, rar, rar.
It is a kind of nice day-ish. Sun's coming through at burst. There's a couple of clouds, but we are getting ready to go to Powers the Pot. Of course, my bike of choice is going to be Badger, my Royal Enfield Classic 500. And we're good to go. There's like a good extra 40 kilos on the bike. But I've done this before, and we're going through the mountains, uphill, downhill, windy, twisty roads, and that is just basically what Badger is made for. I've done this a number of times, go camping on this bike, and it's absolutely fantastic. So we're all good to go, and I'll see you at Powers the Pot. Oh, good morning. So it's Saturday morning. I got my cup of coffee. And we made it through the night. There is Jason. So he went out for a butter, probably for a €5 breakfast. No. Petrol.
E5.
What?
They've got E5 down there. So I filled her up with E5.
Nice.
Treat it.
Yeah.
It's nice down there actually. It's really sunny down in Clonmel. But we are up here, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Well, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea.
All right. So, after being rudely interrupted by Jason, we made it through the night. It's a bit rainy. I didn't take any footage of last night, but you know, it's like a lot of coming and going, and I figured I'd just like save the walking around and looking at the bikes for this morning, where most of the people are going to be here. We have this Jawa 350 with a sidecar. Look at that. That's not something you see on a regular basis. There's a Suzuki Bandit. Oh, welcome. There's the Royal Enfield Bullet. Yes, this is a Bullet, not a classic 500, a Bullet. I think it's a 500. Yeah, it's a 500. A Jaguar Californian. And I think my dad might have had like the same model. But there's a lot of chrome on this one. Very nice. Smile, you're on candid camera. As you see, there's very normal people around here. There's somebody here on the GS. It's a Honda 500. Nice looking machine. And then we have an Interceptor. And they are starting to come out of the woodworks on the rallies. You're on film right now. So, like, you gotta be on your best behavior. Which I know isn't much, but I'll take it. Dedicate the video on that, but... check this out. This is BSA. What I really like about this is, like, it's got drum brakes, but it's like air cooled. How cool is that? Another Bullet 500. Here we have a Triumph T100. Ah, look at that. Royal Enfield Constellation. What year is it?
1960.
1960.
We're still producing the Super Meteor as a sidecar
Yeah.
puller. And they'd already started making the early Interceptors. And they had the Meteor Minor, so we had 4 twins.
Remember Farah? She's got a ducky. Small driving impression of the classic 350. So now, where did they put the... I was looking for the retards. Oh, it runs very smoothly. Very smoothly. control on this though. I wouldn't say that this is in terms of response and torque a lot bigger or better than, or the Classic 500 being a lot bigger or better. It is just a modern iteration of it. Maneuvers really lightly. All right, let's go uphill. It's a nice bit of grunt to it. The seat is very comfortable. It's like the gear pedal. Now I changed the position on mine, so it feels a little strange to me. A lovely bike. Like if the Classic 500 was no longer available, I wouldn't mind having a bike like this. It's a great putter. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an Enfield. Not a Royal Enfield, but an Enfield. And it comes with some amazing accessories. Like this bottle opener.
That was expensive.
It was very, it looks expensive.
The royalties are on the bike.
Yeah. So,
Hitchcock's thinking about it.
the bike is called Geronimo. What was the year of the bike?
1969.
1969, there you go.
That's a red Indian.
Yeah?
And I'm Ger.
Yeah?
That's why Peter christened it Geronimo.
Right, okay.
That's how it got the name. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Scalp later on, so be careful.
Yeah. But you do have a very interesting battery cover, don't you?
Yeah.
It is a Nissan battery cover.
Yeah. That was very expensive.
So, I'm joined by Jenner today, or actually, Jenner is joined by me today, because I'm interested in learning a little bit more about the history of Powers to Pot. So,
I first came to Powers the Pot 30 years ago. At that time, the Jarrah CZ Club of Ireland had Powers the Pot as its running, and they had a little print inside the magazine. And I heard about it because I put an advert in the local newspaper, and it was wanted dead or alive Jarrah CZ MZ. And some nice guy called Eugene Carton got in touch with me. He didn't have a bike to sell, but he told me about Powers the Pot, so I got my ass along there that year. And I'd been going there for about maybe 10 years, not 10 years, maybe about 9 years I suppose.
yeah.
On various bikes, never a Jarrah, but always Triumphs, a Honda 1 year and different things like that, even lots of different East German models. And eventually they pulled out because they wanted somewhere posh and spick and span and soulless. And powers apart is many of things, but it is not soulless. It is just a little bit of heaven. It's a utopia. It's unique, like Enfield riders generally. But back in 2007, there was John Deegan, Rodney Ray, God rest him, is dead now, and there was John Burke and a few others. They wanted to have a Royal Enfields rally in Ireland, so they did one at Dunard, and it was good. But there was a bit of problem with the campsites and stuff like that, and so that was the last one. They didn't want to organise another one, really. They did another one eventually somewhere else. But so I'm thinking to myself, there should be somewhere for the Royal Enfielders to meet, and there was only one place that came to my mind: Powers Apart. So I rang Niall Carroll, the owner of Powers Apart. And I suggested to him, and he said we'd be delighted to have you. And so this was the August, the weekend after the bank holiday, I think. And what happened was, the first year, I had 8 people here, including myself. We had a ride out to John Sheehan's, who was then the Royal Enfield dealer in Ireland. And it pissed down. And we were being mopped up by staff in the restaurant and stuff. But it was good, and it was a good do. And since then, it's been going on. I think the next year we had something like 16 or 18, and then sometimes we'd have 40, 42, and I think the largest number we've had on a ride out was 39 people, which is quite an achievement, and a headache at the same time. Now, Powers Apart, it's just one of these wonderful places. It's so hard to describe because it's so unique. People have to come here to find out themselves. Do not expect it to be spick and span. Expect it to have character. Expect it to be loved, and expect it to love you, because it does. A lot of people say it always rains at Powers Apart. Sometimes it does. It's an island. It's half the way up a mountain. It's more than half the way up a mountain. It's 3/4 the way up a mountain. It's beautiful roads. There's lovely people. And I'd say that 80% of my friends, it used to be about 90% of my friends that I met through Powers Apart.
Yeah.
But now it's about 80%, because like my Frankie, I met Frankie through the YouTube. And I think it was, what's his name? It was shopping bags. Shopping bags, or handbags. Handbags 73. Handbags.
I heard of him.
Yeah, it's Handbag 73 that told me about it, about Frankie, I think, to start with.
Okay.
And so then I found Frankie. But Powers Apart, this was going for 15 years now with the Royal Enfielders Ireland. Yeah. And the Royal Enfielders Ireland came about because Johnny D said we should have a name, because then we could book things and things like that, and it's a lot easier if there is a name of a group. And so that's where we came up with that.
Yeah. Well, it is my first time here at Powers Apart.
And what do you reckon?
I think it's amazing,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, yeah, the rain, you know, it's like, and when we were out on the rally today, I had like a good couple of shots on why it rains here, because like you could see the clouds rolling by and just like smashing into the mountain. It's actually quite a sight to behold. It didn't really put...
Hello, how are you, Bob?
We are doing a interview which you rudely interrupted.
We have an
Come here.
We have an Indian.
Come here.
Come here, Kupta. Sit down.
Come
Kupta.
here. Come here. Sit down. Sit down.
Sit.
This is Jason,
Full Monty.
and it's like he's trying to stay out of picture. There. So now Jason, you're in the picture. You might remember Jason from Vera, right? But he's a bit of a rude character, because you cannot have an interview or he wants to be included. So we just pull him in.
He did the same on the Muppet Show one time.
Yeah.
And on one of Handbags videos.
Handbags videos as well. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, where was the first place I met you, Jess?
Here.
Yeah, Powers Apart.
Yeah, Powers Apart.
We were just talking about Powers Apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All my friends said that you're going to get bummed when you go there.
yeah. So now I've been to Adair twice. What would you say is the big difference between Powers Apart and Adair?
Powers Apart is there's a little bit more. It's not wild in a perfect sense, not like the Wild West, but perfect sense. You've got plenty of trees to go around, you've got a little bit more freedom. Adair is lovely.
Yeah.
Adair is a very good family campsite. Powers the Pot has families, but it's so big and you have a lot more freedom, I suppose. And the other thing is, you have a bar. You could bring your beers and stuff like that, and there's somewhere to sit down and drink it on site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember last night we were in there and we had great crack.
Great crack,
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
And there was some people making a racket with instruments that they were murdering.
Yeah, I mean it's like I recently did a video on the rally by Druids MCC, which was like great, and they had bands and everything like this. So Powers the Pot is not anything like that.
No.
But it definitely has like it more like a small gathering charm where and you can tell because like here the entertainment creates itself.
It does. I always say it's like the difference between the MCC rallies, and I've been to many of them and I enjoyed them, but we don't usually have music. We have it occasionally, but conversation, because it's friends from all over Ireland, all over the world that meet up at these things.
Yeah.
And so you want to listen to those people. You don't want to listen to a DJ banging out YMCA or something like that. Jason does, obviously,
Yeah.
as his earlier statements with Drew.
But like he tries to the Eurosong Festival every year, doesn't he?
He
Yeah,
does.
oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Can I go and get beer now?
Huh?
It's all right if I go and get beer now. I don't have to sit here, do I?
No, you don't have to sit here. You
I've wrecked it enough anyway, I think.
Yeah. You completely ruined the footage.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jason.
Monty.
That was Jason.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how we shoot videos.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, that's how it should
That's
be.
that.
No, no, it's. I mean, it's like now that I experience it for myself, and you know how I feel about mountains. I just like absolutely adore mountains, and the ride out today was just like absolutely wonderful. You like you come around, you're in the forest. There's trees everywhere. You know, you're going through these little B roads, trees everywhere, and you come around a turn. The trees disappear, and there is just like a whole valley looking at you, and it's like
Yeah.
you
It's
can't
freedom.
beat that.
You imagine putting your tent up somewhere in that valley.
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
Yeah, that's what we've done here.
Yeah.
Well, we did it on top of a mountain, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I do think like especially like when we had this summer on. I mean, like Paper Bags did like they have a beautiful series about like the nice weather in Ireland, but you know it's kind of like kind of sus, you know, like nice weather in Ireland. When is that happening?
Yeah, only when we have people over like saddlebags, then we don't want them to get upset and they cry again.
No.
It gets a bit messy. We have to get the wet floor sign out.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And it goes with him being in such a privileged position. He's got his own butler as well, called Mark the Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, what would you want, sir? Can I get this for you, sir? Now, I know the guy is from Devon, so naturally the Cornish would be the superior.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I did notice that like he has some issues with people that identify as a jam jar.
They do.
I
Would
kind
that be a
of-
Robinson's jam jar?
Oh yeah.
Golly, that's very good.
Yeah. But like to kind of conclude, I think the rain is a part of it, and I mean if you're interested in the type of biking that we do, like we don't chase the speed, we go for the scenery, we go for the adventure of the road itself, and rain is a part of it, and I think today we were very lucky with that.
Yeah, I think anywhere in Ireland and even in Britain and mainland Europe, you are going to, if you don't ride in the rain, you're not going to ride a motorbike.
No.
Especially in Ireland.
No, you've got to have very few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, people talk about the riding season. We ride bikes all year.
Yeah.
The riding season starts on the 1st of January and finishes
31st of December, yeah.
December,
Yeah. Quite right. Right. Okay, Jenna, I want to thank you for this interview.
And I want to thank you for all your support for the Royal Enfielders Ireland, frankly, and all the entertainment and your wonderful humour. And I say it's wonderful because you're very similar to my own.
Right, okay, so I'm going to make sure to edit this to make sure that I embarrass as much people as possible. Is that a good idea?
That is good.
All right,
Yeah.
okay. Everybody is getting gathered up for the ride out. A strong representation of Royal Enfield. That's Vera. This one arrived just today. There's the exact same model motorbike. That was my first bike, a Bullet 350. Lovely to see it still on the road. Ah, there's the BSA.
I can see he was a man of distinction, a real big spender.
We did. And then Jason wanted to identify as a bear. Jason wanted to identify as a bear down there. on the loose. I guess we're cowboys now.
This year, thanks for everybody coming along to the 15th Powers Apart Royal Enfielders Ireland. We were lucky because before it was paved the way by the Jarrow CZ Owners Club and the MZ Riders Club. They moved on to pastures different, and we, being the greedy bastards that we are, took it over. And stuff. So, and it'd be nothing without everybody to come and supporting every year and experiencing this wonderful place. There'll be a little bit of the history. I've missed out something, so watch Frankie's World, and in Frankie's World you might know different things that happened, and I'm sure Frankie's World on the comments on his YouTube video that will be coming up, you'll be delighted to know them. So here, like I say, wonderful people make this event, and it wouldn't be Powers Apart without Niall, without everybody as well. He might be across the old figure, but he's a lovely guy, and he's actually donated a couple of prizes to us. And so Niall has done these. So I think, seeing as though the people are teetotal, but they might change, the longest distance male and female. There's a really nice bottle of red and a bottle of white. And these a donation from Niall, what it is. So the longest distance female, longest distance male, 421 miles. Well done. I'll let you choose first, ladies first. Do you like the Chardonnay? Sauvignon.
Thank you.
And also, these people that came here, they had to be chaperoned. They're not really what you call responsible adults. There's a young lady, and enchanting, nearly as enchanting as her mother. And she'll be riding her longest distance, Pillion passenger. You're welcome. No. We also have various machines here that deserve a lot of recognition. We have pieces of wonderful engineering that have been inflicted upon sympathetic hands. So here is for the best non-Enfield, the Ariel, a signed copy, and the author is over there. Redmond, learn to read your copy. So, we also have, I would actually say, a gentleman here that has technical. He's got what you could say an Indian takeaway.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
He's not embarrassed. He's only a little bit red about it. Yeah. So, that is a wonderful machine. That is the best classic Indian Royal Enfield. Well done. And that prize was donated by our own Mike Griff.
Thanks, Mike.
Now, I know we have lots of classics here, people as well as motorbikes.
That's just the way you say we're getting old.
Yeah. There's a guy that will be doing a lot of wiring in the near future. The times are coming that it'd be Royal Enfield, it'd be BSA, it'd be Triumph, it is anyway. You know, so it's open to everybody.
Yeah. Whenever Tom is on, you guaranteed the exhaust is that long.
Now, we have to remember the classic Royal Enfield as well. And somebody listens too much to noises. They listen to crap music that their wife is playing. So what on earth would you get this poor devil so he can have a decent night's sleep? earplugs and a pillow. Now, there is another. There's another few things here. Some are donated by Bill and some are donated by Jer as well. We are always and ever well supported by our Jawa, CZ and MZ buddies as well. The Northern Monkeys. They're just fabulous. And I can see the time when we have to unbolt the sidecar to get somebody else and tip it over. Where you gone? Where is he? There you go. Now,
they want to know that before the start.
There's also another guy, and he's been here and he's been supporting many. Known this guy since Powers of Blood. He makes a racket, but you know Jason might share the earplugs, and he comes along. He supports everything. The poor bugger, he's lost his motorbike this year. Somebody stole it. So if you're going to Dublin, knock your bike up, shoot, kill, dismember, and bury anybody that tries to steal it. You're going to have an incident. We have beautiful motorbikes as well. We have very highly polished motorbikes, lovely ones. And the ones that did really strike me was our friends. They're lovely. Royal Enfield. You see the lots. We're lucky because we have great insight into the world by different people we meet. We had here Nick Brown, we had the enchanting Jackie Furnow. We're fortunate this year to have somebody I cast as a friend and an inspiration, Steve Wilson. Steve Wilson has inspired us through his words, his books and his ongoing journalism. And still travelling and still doing stuff. Steve, thank you very much. May you always have a pot to piss in. And I had to keep you warm. But most of all, I want to thank everybody. It's everybody that makes it so special.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Yeah.